Welcome to Meaningful Morning. Yesterday, I was part of the summit that I was talking about in regards to inspiring and grooming the next generation to lead nonprofits. Here's what I shared with you. One of the greatest and young leaders in our culture, his name is Prithu, Raja Prithu. He shared with his citizens on how to be a global citizen. Number one, follow Dharma. Number two, facilitate Dharma. My next reference was another great and young leader in our history and culture, Acharya Shankara. And he has shared, Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam. I'm going to distill this to schedule 1% of your time a week for study groups. Naturally, I mean studying that which is sacred, subjective. Number two, Deyam Dina Janaya Vittam, which I'm distilling to systematically donate 10% of your check a month to charity. So how do you inspire and groom the next generation to lead nonprofits? You follow this. You learn to be happy, and then you practice being helpful, and then facilitate the same. When you're experiencing happiness, you will facilitate the same for others. When you're practicing helpfulness, you will facilitate the same for others. I've shared with all of you that after I facilitate Meaningful Mornings, I listen to the recording, mostly on Facebook. And for those who watch the recording, what I'm sharing, the text is shared beneath my voice. And at the end of Meaningful Mornings, when I share from inspiration to application, what does Facebook translate that as? Have you seen that word? Obligation. That's right. And that is a more rich word. This application is our obligation. Facebook told us. And so, what we do in Meaningful Mornings is we follow Dharma, we facilitate Dharma, we schedule our time to be in study groups, we systematically donate our resources to charity. This is our application, and the more we apply ourselves, we feel this is our obligation. For all of the younger people who are joining us, my best wishes to you in advance as you start high school, as you start college, as you start your higher education. Today, this week, we complete 150 weeks of Meaningful Mornings. Today, this week, we complete 570 verses of Bhagavad Gita. As I shared yesterday, why do we do this? Infinite nature. We are tired of our nature being finite. Us being tired of this shows that our nature is not finite. For the majority of searchers and seekers, these are just words. Sanatana Dharma, infinite nature. And a reason for this is we're habituated to explore a sacred science, a subjective science, in a scholarly way. It's about the chanting, it's about the Sanskrit, and so on. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is not just words, it is a message, it is a call towards Tattvamasi. Infinity, you are. This message, this call is coming from our trust triangle. Those who have learned to trust themselves, and so we also can trust them. In a micro sense, Shri Krishna is our God, Shri Krishna is our Gita, Shri Krishna is our Guru. He is the 3G network. If you have this network, you don't need 4G, you don't need 5G. I think I have an iPhone 5. I'm trying to downgrade that. That way I can go back to my 3G network. Each chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is different. And so, this map is most practical. Whenever you joined Meaningful Mornings, whether it was chapter 3 or 8 or 15, this is practical. Yet, each chapter of Bhagavad Gita is not different. And this creates a singular message or call for us to surrender. That final message and call will come in chapter 18. To surrender all we do, to surrender who we are. I shared with you when we began this chapter. Chapter 1 is the setting. Chapter 2 is the syllabus. Chapter 18 is the summary. And chapter 15 is the spirit. The spirit of these 700 verses. Iti guhyatamam shastram. What has been shared is most close to us. This is a shastra, a science, sacred, subjective in nature. Acharya Shankara, one of the greatest thinkers on the Bhagavad Gita, has shared. Bhagavad Gita is a shastra. Chapter 15 is also a shastra. Just think of how important this is. The word shastra comes from shasti, which means that which directs. This chapter, verses 15 to 20, are directing us from finitude to infinitude. Idamuktam mayanagha. And all that has been shared by me, the 3G, God Gita Guru, to you who are anagha, pure. You are ready for this. Last night, Vyasa and I drove back from Cleveland to Niagara. We had completed our Pitra Putra weekend. I tried to be very conscious to explain these Sanskrit words, but sometimes I forget. Pitra means father, Putra means child. In this case, son. I'm sharing this with you because in the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna calls Prince Arjuna Tata, which means child. The way that I try to guide my child, Shri Krishna is guiding us. The more pure you feel, the more you do feel he is looking at us, and so he's looking after us. Etad buddhva buddhiman syat. Having known what is contained in chapter 15, from verse 15 onwards, buddhva, having known this, one becomes buddhiman. Buddhiman means the one who has an intellect. Your whole life, people told you you're buddhu, or an intellect is absent. Here, Shri Krishna is sharing the opposite. You are using your intellect. When one invests in their SQ, they start to experience what they need. Share with me in the chat, what do you finally need? Joy. IQ does not direct you to joy. EQ does not direct you to joy. Only SQ does. When people tell me about all of their education, when I'm speaking with different people and they share that they've gone to this higher education school or they are in this position of a corporation, I'm so unfazed by that. When I hear these details, it's almost boring because that's all IQ, all EQ. To me, that's not buddhiman. This is buddhiman. But this knowing is not a knowing, again, in a secular or objective way. This is a feeling. When one feels, then krita, kritya. Krita means done. Kritya means to be done. You have done what is to be done. What is to be done is to surrender individuality, to feel infinite nature. With this, we complete chapter 15. There's only 3 more chapters, so based on simple math, this is 5/6 of all of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We have completed the setting, the syllabus, the spirit. Please chant with me. Om Tat Sat Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Purushottama Yogo Nama Panchadashodhyayaha. Om Tat Sat. All that has been shared is directing us to infinity. What has changed in this Sankalpa Vaakya, in this promise we are making to Shri Krishna and ourselves? This yoga is about Uttama Purusha, that you are not equipments and ego, you are existence. Panchadashodhyayaha, this is the 15th chapter, not of Bhagavad Gita, but rather on you. I pray to Shri Krishna that we follow our dharma so that we become anaga, the one who is ready to change. This is our dharma or responsibility. Then It is the dharma or responsibility of our trust triangle for us to become Bharata, filled with light, to feel that we are awareness. How lovely our life is that our only responsibility is to become Anaga. And that you put your hands up and the trust triangle holds those hands and puts them back on you. That you are infinite. So I pray to Sri Krishna that we understand and appreciate and follow what our responsibility is to be Anaga. From inspiration to obligation. Your application was to write what chapter 15 means to you. And some of you would have done this, some of you are still doing this. When you've completed this one page, email this to our team. We will format this and we will share this with Puja Swami Tejo Mayananda, who is our immediate guide, making the inaccessible accessible. You write, I will also write. Your forthcoming application obligation, the next time we meet for Meaningful Mornings, will be Monday, September 18th. That is Vinayaka Chaturthi. It is a day we celebrate being humble leaders. It'll be right after our Chinmaya Inspiration Yatra 16. And it will be the first day, essentially the first day of our year-long courses. Registration for our year-long courses starts today. On Tuesdays, I will be teaching Narada Bhakti Sutra. On Thursdays, the Yaksha Prashna. This will be all over our website and social media. And that is your application to register for at least one of these courses. Meaningful Mornings is 18 minutes. These courses are 60 minutes a week. It provides, I don't want to say more, but a different immersion in our map. Finally, I offer my dakshina, my gratitude to all of you. I've chanted Bhagavad Gita's chapter 15 1,000 times. Maybe I've studied it 10 times. Maybe I've taught it 5 times. But never like how we've done so this month. It is because of you that you pull the trust triangle from above through me to you. That means I get to experience it first. My dakshina to Shankarji for facilitating Vishnu Sahasranama. It's one matter to hear it on a Google Home. It's very different to hear it from a trained Vedanta teacher. My dakshina to Ragini from Chicago, who helps be the support, the backup for Meaningful Mornings, whether it's Instagram or Zoom. And my dakshina or gratitude to Sunita ji, who has facilitated Meaningful Mornings in so many ways during this semester. I pray for all of us. I pray for all of them. Again, for Sri Krishna to grace and guide us to know what our responsibility is. Shanti. 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 Be pure.